Hey guys, so I found this SAT question online. I'm going to read it to you. It says a gas station sells regular gasoline for $2.39 per gallon and premium gasoline for $2.79 per gallon. If the gas station sold a total of 550 gallons of both types of gasoline in one day for a total of $1,344, and 50 cents, how many gallons of premium gasoline were sold? Cool. So it's basically wanting us to figure out of all the different items we're selling, which is two different items, right? We're selling premium and we're selling regular, and the amount of money I made at the end of the day, it just wants us to figure out how much gasoline I sold that's called premium. So that's all we're trying to extract from this. So let's go ahead and try to set up. Let's see if we can set up a couple of equations and then we can try to solve it. Okay, so we're going to have to start over from the beginning and work through the question and extract the data we need. So it says a gas station sells regular gasoline. So let's call it R for regular for $2.39. Let me go ahead and put the numbers in the front. Let's do a coefficient setup right here. We'll call this R for regular. And then I have premium gasoline for $2.79 P premium, right? Gasoline. If the gas station sold 550 gallons of both types of gasoline in one day for a total of, oh, okay, so it's a total. So we need 1344. Let's put the 0 at the end. How many gallons of premium gasoline were sold? So our focus, our attention is premium gasoline. We got to remember that. Okay. So I have it set up a bit. 2.39R and then I have 2.79P equals 1344.50. What I can do is I can put a plus sign right here and we have the first equation set up. How did I come up with that? Well, they told us how much money we made at the end of the day, right? It's a little bit over 1.3K. And they also told us that we're just selling two items. We're selling regular and premium. So basically, what this equation is saying, this equation we set up based off the question, is if I were to take like random numbers and just throw them into R and throw them into P, what my hope is that I can somehow get 1344.50. So I would do 2.39 times like 7 plus 2.79 times like 40, and we'll try to see if we can get a number. And we'll just keep doing random numbers. So maybe I'll put a 30 in, maybe I'll put 16 in, maybe I'll put like a 400 in. And we're just trying to get exactly precisely 1344.50. So that's essentially what we're going to do. So I set it up like that. We're going to do a more sophisticated version of what I just explained, though. We're not just going to throw random numbers in. That's just going to take a little bit too long. So that's equation 1. But I still have 550. I got to do something with that also. I can't just like leave it alone, right? So what do I do with 550? Well, we're just selling two items. We're selling premium gasoline and regular gasoline. We're not even discussing price when it comes to gallons, right? Not with this number. So we're going to do R plus P. And that's going to be our second equation. How did I come up with that? How did I know to put P and R together and it equals 550? Well, because it wants me to know how much gas I sold in general at the end of the day. I'm only selling two items. I'm selling regular and I'm selling premium. So if I sold like 50 regular and 50 premium, 500 premium, it equals 550, right? So if I sold 0 regular and 550 premium, I just put those together and I get 550. I'm not worried about the money part because it's just talking about the gallons, right? 550 is just talking about gallons. I'm not dividing it, I'm not multiplying it, and I'm not subtracting it. I'm simply adding them together. That's how I came up with the second equation. My next goal is to isolate. I'm going to isolate one of the terms, the terms being either P or being R. And we can even rewrite this to make it a little bit more familiar. Maybe, we can make it 239 x, we'll call it x instead of r, plus 2.79 y equals 1344.50. And then let's do a divider. I have x again plus y equals 550. This might look a little bit more familiar than P and R, although you could keep P and R if you wanted. So what I want to do is I'm going to try to isolate x. You can isolate y too if you want. There's different ways of doing this. I'm just going to isolate x. So basically I'm just going to get this little guy by itself. How do I do that? Well, I move everything over to the other side of the equality symbol, all of it except the letter x. So what do I end up with? I end up with 1344.50 minus 2.79y. I just took the entire term and I just threw it over there on the other side with the negative sign. All right? And all over 2.39 equals x. With this term right here, I had to divide, right? Because you always do the opposite. If it's add and you're trying to move it over to the other side, you subtract. If it's multiplication, you divide. That's why it's in the bottom. So what does that get me? I might have to do some math here. 1344.50 divided by 2.39. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and divide to get rid of this fraction. So if I take 1344.50 and divide 2.39, I get 562.55 minus 2.79 divided by 2.39, 1.167 y equals x. Right? And I'm going to bring this down just so we can keep it organized. We haven't touched that yet. Okay, great. I have x by itself right here. And let's go ahead and rewrite that because I ran out of room. 55, what was it? Minus 1.6, yeah, 1.167 y equals x, and then we had x plus y equals 550. Okay, perfect. Now I have x totally by itself. What I can do is, so I already did something with this, right? I already messed with this by isolating x. Okay, I haven't even touched the second guy yet, so let's use him now. We're going to replace this x with this x. So what I'm going to end up with is 562.55 minus 1.167 y, right here, plus y equals 550. I hope you see what I did. All I did was take this x and then I just replaced it with all of this stuff. That's all I did. And now we can start solving a little bit. Let's see, what do we do next? I have two y's and then I have two numbers, just two constants. Well, let's try to isolate everything again, just like we did earlier when we tried isolating x. So I would end up with negative 1.167 y plus y equals 55. I think it's negative 12.55, right? And then, yeah, so I made this a negative and we got rid of these. So I have negative 1.167 y plus y equals negative 12.55. And then I'm going to take these guys, I'm going to put them together. It's a negative and a positive, which makes it negative 0.167y. I just subtracted it. I added it with a negative sign, or you can say you subtracted it, equals negative 12.55. I'm getting very, very close to what I need because originally, right, if we went back, it's asking me how many gallons of premium gas. Premium was P. We assigned the letter Y. right, to the letter P, which means all we have to do now, right back over here, all we have to do now is isolate Y. I'm going to divide it, negative 0.1167, right? Let's go ahead and divide it. This becomes 1, so I have Y equals, let me go ahead and get my calculator, negative 0.167, okay? It leaves me with a positive 75.1497. It looks like I can't round it, so it becomes, let's say 75.1, so we'll just make it 75. So it looks like the answer is 75. What it was asking me is how many gallons of premium gasoline were sold, right here. The answer is today I sold 75 gallons of premium gas. That's how many gallons I sold. And that is the answer. Okay, I hope this helped. Thanks.